Fall 2017 and the weird winter of 2018. A lot went into flux after that trip to Inuitia. During the trip, I decided to quit my data entry job simply for the sake of forcing myself to get another job, even if I didn't have anything lined up. While it was a bold idea, there was still the practical problem of a shortage of cool, high-paying jobs I was qualified for. I ended up settling for a job at an outdoor clothing store called JJ Boom. I also managed to secure a job working as a live sound engineer at a small venue called the Birdie House, which was a cool job regardless of the cheap pay. With those two jobs I was busy enough, but one night I sprained my ankle in a recreational soccer match. I had been playing co-ed indoor soccer on a free agent team, meaning that we were all people who didn't have enough friends to make our own teams. So we had to sign up and all be placed together to fend against those who could form teams with their friends. The night I sprained my ankle was the match that would get us into the finals, and even though I scored a winning goal and secured our spot, I also secured a terrible sprain that would take me at least 2 months to heal from. Unable to move quickly in a full retail environment with any real usefulness, I decided to quit my job at JJ Boom after less than 2 months of employment and managed to get my job back at the data entry place, humorously enough. They always needed help over there, and I was particularly quick at typing, quicker than a lot of my fellow employees. Since the job was all sitting down, all I had to do was crutch between my computer and the break room. It turned out I had to leave the job to truly value it for what it was, more secure and higher paying than anything else in the area. Boy, though, it was a tough time there for a bit, crutching everywhere in the snow and ice of hip forest. I continued on with my sound job as well, also not too inhibited by my crutching status. I had to be handicapped for a while, and that was the price I had to pay for playing soccer recklessly in a recreational co-ed league no less. Musically, I had been doing quite all right. I had released a 4-song EP, played a set at a small music festival over the summer, and had been working on a new album. Plenty of music had poured out of me during our plane journey to Inuitia, as I busied myself with my sampler during and between flights, and in my late-night jam sessions, I had been coming up with a fair deal of material. That fall and winter combined, I ended up playing several shows around Hip Forest, with varying degrees of attendance, but it was all great practice, and even paid at times. Luna let me use her car to transport my gear, which I was grateful for, and she also gave me quite the birthday that year. I had all my favourite foods, and got to go to a fancy restaurant that we definitely both liked. Even with all of this, though, and even after a perfectly fine New Year's Eve party with friends, Luna and I still had plenty to fight about, and I was wrestling with a lot myself. Between noticing that I was very much so attracted to other women, and feeling inadequate about my financial status, I wondered what kind of changes my life needed, what the problems were. I had developed a strong resentment towards Luna too, for the ways that she would try to control my green power consumption, as well as for how little enthusiasm she had for our intimate life. Based on that alone, she had inadvertently convinced me that she wasn't into me anymore. She claimed she was always tired from work or just not in the mood, but it was all too often. If she was ambivalent about my music career, our sex life, and hated my green power use, then what was the use? But out of love, convenience, and a certain sense of being trapped together by the rent agreement, we stayed together through that long winter. I travelled to my job in darkness, came home in darkness, and played music alone in darkness after Luna went to sleep.